Right, you lot, let's talk Villa. But first I wanted to say a quick thank you. The recent uplift in engagement on my videos in terms of comments, views, click-through rates and subscribers has been genuinely fantastic. We are well on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So before we get into talking about the Bournemouth game that happened yesterday, I want to just quickly say, if you are enjoying the Aston Villa content and you want much more to come, leave a like on this video, comment down below what type of videos you are enjoying and subscribe. Head over to Twitter, which will be linked in the description below. Follow me on there, share my videos around Aston Villa circles. Let's try and build the best Aston Villa community on YouTube. But we can do that by talking about how we showed some big cojones and beat Bournemouth 3-1 in the Premier League. Yeah, so as you can see on screen, here are the match stats from that game. Pretty, evenly based. I think Bournemouth, like I said in my preview, are a good team. Like, there's no one that thinks that Bournemouth are going to be a team that you can just go and roll over. They have one of the most informed strikers this season in Dominic Solanke, who got his 18th Premier League goal, I think it was, from the penalty spot against us. And we did go 1-0 down. Before we get into the actual game though, I will ping up the player ratings, or my player ratings. I haven't done this in a while, but I thought we'd bring it back. I quite enjoy talking through that. Emi Martinez did obviously concede the penalty, but otherwise a pretty stonewall game as you would expect from him. So he goes straight in on a 7. Luca Digne at left back, he doesn't really put a foot wrong nowadays. He's been one of our, for me, surprise performers throughout the season, so he gets an 8 as well. Didn't really set a foot wrong, like I say. Pau Torres and Ezri Konsa, I think, is probably our strongest centre-back pairing. Ezri Konsa, I think, is probably one of the best, if not the best, one-on-one defender in the Premier League if you look at his statistics, and he proved that again with some absolute Rolls-Royce type defending in this game. So they both sit on 8s. Matty Cash gave away the penalty and ultimately was probably one of our weaker performances on the pitch, so he gets a 6. Moving into midfield, Yuri Tielemans and John McGinn have struck up somewhat of a magnificent temporary partnership in the centre of midfield in absence of Douglas Luiz and Boubacar Kamara, and they both get 9s for me this game. They were outstanding, and it's one of the surprises because the midfield was somewhere where I was worried about during this 2-game Douglas Luiz suspension, but I'd be happy if those two just carried on starting, to be honest with you, because they, like I say, have been out of this world. Moving on to the left hand side of our attack, and Morgan Rogers gets a 9 out of 10 for me again. I'll throw up a card for one of my videos. I'll link it down in the description below, but I made a video a couple of weeks ago saying that Morgan Rogers could be the future of this football club and how he's become so crucial so quickly, and he has proven it game on game. A spectacular goal in this game, and he is just going from strength to strength. Moving over to the middle, as it were, or the second striker in Moussa Diaby. Got a goal in this game and another 8 for me. Again, He's had his dips in form this season, but he's also had his moments where he has looked like the player that we paid 40-odd million for, and I think this was one of those games. Moving on to the right-hand side, a couple of people's, or many people's, man of the match for this game in Leon Bailey, a goal and an assist, a 9 for me as well. He has been an absolute stalwart of a player for us this season, and probably one of our most vital, apart from the next man that we go on to, a straight up 10 out of 10, 2 assists in this game, was simply unplayable in the second half. He now moves on to 19 goals and 12 assists in the Premier League, 31 goal involvements, the first player to get over 30 this season. My PFA, or whatever it is, Premier League player of the season, Ollie Watkins, 10 out of 10. Somehow Aston Villa have the best striker in the Premier League right now, and it's someone who at the start of the season I would have been surprised if he would have got 11, 12 goals and 5 assists. The turnaround that he's had, he shut me up. I was one of the ones that was screaming from the rooftops we needed to get a proper striker for this season. Ollie Watkins, you've had my pants down. Fair play. You're a G, and you're probably the player of the season in the Premier League. To my analysis for this game and what it means. This game for me was very, very important. I said that in my preview of it. In the sense of, it was a chance for us to put 6 points between us and Spurs. Yes, I know they have 2 games in hand on us, so technically if they win their game in hand, or both game in hands rather, we are equal on points with them. But again, it's another +2 for the goal difference, similarly to how we got +2 against Arsenal last week. But for me, again, this was a real character testing performance, and the reason it puts so much pressure on Spurs, if I chuck up their next fixtures here, off the top of my head, I believe it's like Arsenal, Chelsea, City, and then they have like Sheffield United, then Liverpool or something like that, or it might be a couple of... But anyway, they've got to play effectively the top 3 teams over the next few weeks. They've got to play a Chelsea team who are coming into a little bit of form now, with probably one of the most informed players in the league in Cole Palmer at the helm. And it's not going to be easy, and you would expect Spurs to drop points in those games. Now, don't get me wrong, Spurs could go and wash the floor with all of those teams, but winning the game, like a game against Bournemouth, considering we've still got teams like Liverpool and Brighton to come up, was vital. And the amount of pressure that puts on these Tottenham players to go out and perform against the top 3 teams in the league is immense. And I think that's why it was so important for me. And we've shown a bit of character in the fact that we went 1-0 down against a team who aren't easy to beat, and we've come back and wiped the floor with them. An absolute character test that these boys have passed. I've questioned in the past, like the Brentford collapse rather, would the pressure get to us? They've proved right now that they are up for this. I think there's been a bit of a mentality switch since the coefficient spots have pretty much officially gone, and I think Unai Emery must have got into these boys. But the fact that they played a grueling 90 minutes against the title challenging Arsenal, who will press you for 90 minutes, went on and played 120 minutes plus penalties in the cauldron that was Lille Stadium in France, and then most of those players that played a majority of those minutes in that game have then come into this game and performed like that and beat Bournemouth 3-1 is outstanding. I don't have a single bad word to say about any of them. We take that momentum now into the Chelsea game. It's Monday as I record this and hopefully upload this. I believe Unai Emery is giving the players today and tomorrow off, much deserved, so hopefully we'll be well rested for the game on Saturday against Chelsea, which the preview for that should come out on Thursday. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how we can perform in these running games. Like I say, Spurs have a very hard run in, probably harder than us at this point. We've put 6 points between us. I think we're going to get 4th, and I think we're going to get Champions League. What does it mean for the table? As you can see there, our goal difference goes higher above Spurs. Our run-in is now, I believe, easier, and we are 6 points clear of them. Boys, it is all looking good for Aston Villa. Like I say, in terms of this week, the preview of the Chelsea game should be coming out on Thursday. I'm hoping on Wednesday I will be uploading a video all about Nicolo Zaniolo as his loan comes to an end. I'll be doing one about him and one about Clement Longley. So if you are, again, looking forward to all of that stuff, leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on, share this channel around. Let's get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the summer, before the next season starts. Up the Villa. Be nice to everyone.